Good evening.
Good
Am I
evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good
am
evening,
I now
sir.
audible?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'm 10 minutes late. I'm sorry. My system was not operating. It was updating, so I'm late. Now let's begin our session. Okay. Today we shall take up the second unit, second block. Second block. This block is entitled as Cultures in Transition, and we have 4 units in this block. That is unit 4, 5, 6, 7, 4. Unit 4 is entitled Society Represented in Vedic Culture. Unit 5, Identized Culture. Unit 6, Socio-Religious Ferment in North India, Buddhism and Jainism. Unit 7, Emergence of Buddhist Central and Peninsular India. I have told you, I have asked you to read yourself, self-study, and if any problem arises, you just note them down and we shall discuss them in the class. So have you gone through this block, this block number 2, these 4 units? Yes. Am I clearly audible? Am I clearly audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then my question is, my problem, my point is that have you gone through the block number 2, that is culture in transition, societies represented in Vedic literature? There are 4 units. Just I'm repeating again. Societies represented in Vedic literature, Anonized culture, socio-religious ferment in North India, Buddhism and Jainism, emergence of Buddhist Central and Peninsular India. These are the 4 units, and they are very not so critical, not so technical, and not so clumsy. They are very clear and only data, only facts based. Nothing to be analyzed, fact based. So, have you gone through? Have you any idea or anything you want to know from me? Um, I want to clear your doubt. Yes. Shraddhanjali, have you got any
Sir, I
doubt?
wanted,
You want
sir,
to ask
I
any
wanted,
question?
yes, sir, I wanted to, sir, sir, I want to know about the development of varnas.
Barna, development of Barna, very good.
Varnas. Yeah, that
Barna,
thing is
Barna, Barna.
little bit difficult.
Development of Barna system.
Varnas.
Barna system. Okay, that is one. Anybody else? Now, Shraddhanjali has a doubt with Barna system. Anybody having any doubt? Please put up so that we can discuss them. Yes, there are 2 Shraddhanjali, Barik and Sahu. Shraddhanjali Sahu, have you got any doubt? Then Rakesh, are you hearing me?
Sir,
Have you any doubt? Anything to be clarified?
sir, kingship relation and consolidation. এটা কি বুঝিলাম, sir?
Sharmila,
Yes, sir.
what is your doubt? Kinship?
A relation and the consolidation of practice. সেটা what's the point এটা বুঝিলাম, sir?
Kinship relation and consolidation of. Again, you read out that line. Consolidation of
Kingship consolidation of
Patriarchal system.
patriarchal system. ठीक है, these are stood out now. Anybody? Sharmila. Then anybody else? Let's start. Now, first of all, when we are going to discuss about Vedic culture, first of all, we must understand the basic characteristics or basic characteristics of the Vedic society, basic nature of the Vedic society, basic idea behind the Vedic culture, basic ideology that underlines the Vedic culture. What is Vedic culture? Now, when we talk about Vedic culture, we talk about the Vedic society. It means the society as reflected in the Vedas, culture as reflected in the Vedas. We know that Aryans, the author of the Vedas, they were having that culture, that society, that economic life, that political activities, which have been reflected in Vedas through their writing. The Aryans, they were the authors of the Veda. Then what is the meaning of the Veda? Veda means knowledge, to know, quest. So there were rishis, sages who have written, families of sages who have written these Vedas. And this Veda is also known as Samhita. There are 4 Vedas. And as you know, Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. And the Rig Veda is the earliest Veda. And this earliest Aryan society is reflected in the Vedic literature, earliest Veda. It is called Rig Vedic society. The name has been given as an index in order to pinpoint the exact time or the exact nature where this society was developing, where this society was functioning. Therefore, we call it Vedic age or we call it Vedic culture. Is it clear? Now, coming to the nature of the Vedic society. What sort of society was the Vedic society? Now, early Vedic society, no, we cannot say that the entire Vedic society, the whole of the Vedic society. Early Vedic society was a pastoral society. Pastoral society, what does it mean by pastoral society? It means the people in the society had main occupation as cattle rearing and cattle keeping. Cattle rearing or cattle keeping. The major wealth was cattle, gai, cow. So it was pastoral. Agriculture was there, but agriculture was not so important. No doubt agriculture was there, but it was not so important as an occupation. It comes second next to pastoralism, next to cattle rearing. Now, what was the character of the society? Early Vedic society was completely tribal. There were different tribes. Here we shall entry the theory of this kingship. There were tribes like there were Purus, there Kurus, and then this Bharata. These are the tribes, different tribes were there, and they were fighting with each other for the sake of supremacy. So this was just a brief hints about the Vedic culture that I am going to give you. And then I shall come to kinship and the Varna order. Now remember one thing, during the time of the Rig Veda, we don't have any mention, a reference to Varna, to caste system. It was a casteless society. But the society was based upon clan system. Clan means a goshti, a community, those who are bound with a single ancestry. That is a character of the tribe, single ancestry, clan, one clan. So in this way, we see that is a Vedic society, early Vedic society was totally tribal in character, and there was no caste system, it was clan system, and we shall come to clan system. These are the major characteristics or culture natures of the Vedic society, early Vedic society. Now coming to Varna, what is Varna? Now if I'll ask you what is Varna, what will be your answer? Your answer will be definitely Varna. Color. Exactly, color. So in early Vedic society, this system had developed in the middle of their occupation or in middle of their evolution, that had developed Varna color system. This color system basing upon what? Basing upon two groups of people. Aryans, they had confronted with another group of people, another tribal people whom they called Dasa, Dasyus, Asuras, etc. Dasyus, Dasa, Asura, etc. And they were, because Aryans, they claimed themselves to be much more developed, evolved, gentle, and civilized in comparison to these Dasyus, Dasas, and Asuras. And there was constant fighting between these Aryans and non-Aryans. Remember, when I'm talking about non-Aryans, they were not uncivilized. They were also equally civilized. But as they were not fair complexioned as Aryans were, so Aryans began to discriminate these Dasyus, Dasas, or Asuras, so-called Dasyus, Dasas, and Asuras, non-Aryans, on the basis of this color. Because Aryans were fair complexion, these non-Aryans were black complexion with a thick lip, mota oto, and a small nose. But Aryan's characteristic feature was sharp nose and thin lips, fair complexion. It means they were very handsome or very attractive to look at. Non-Aryans were not like that. So on the basis of color, this distinction or discrimination began in the first phase, in the first stage in early Vedic age. And that is what we call it Varna system. Is it clear? Varna system. Now, this Varna system was tending to take a new form, and that new form was nothing but caste system. But this caste system initially, which was formed with 4 castes, remained as Varna order or Varna system. जो caste system प्रथमे ବର୍ଣ୍ଣରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇଥିଲା, ସେ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣ ନାଁରେ ହିଁ ଚାଲିଲା, ଯଦିଓ 4 ଭାଗରେ ବିଭକ୍ତ ହେଇଥିଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ପ୍ରଥମେ କେତେ ଜଣ ଥିଲେ? 2 ଭାଗ, 2ଟି ଡିଭିଜନ ଥିଲେ। ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ଆରିୟନ ଡିଭିଜନ, ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା ନନ୍ ଆରିୟନ କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି, 2ଟି କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି, and on the basis of color of the skin. Now here we see that again towards the last part of the Rig Veda, what we see, there was some sort of hints or there was some sort of references to caste order, to the division of the society on 4 order, on the basis of 4 order, and this division was later on took the shape of caste. Now Rig Veda has 10 mandala, 10 books. They are called mandalas. Each mandalas have some suktas, and sukta means hymns, pada, joda stanza. And in such a thing, we see that in the 10th mandala, the last mandala of Rig Veda, there is a sukta. This sukta is called Purusha Sukta. And in this Purusha Sukta, there has been a narration, a description of this primeval Purusha, primeval male. Some scholar, they try to identify this Purusha with the creator. And some say this is nothing but a symbol of the society as a human being with all its limbs functioning in different ways. And the human or the sukta, it reads like this: Brahmanasya mukham asit bahu rajanyakrita urutat vaishajayat padabhyam sudrajat. Brahmanasya mukham asit bahu rajanyakrita urutad vaisham jayat padabhyam sudrajat. It means the Brahmanas have been originated from the mouth of the creator, or they are like the mouth of the society. Kshatriyas are like their arm, And similarly, Vaishyas like the thighs, and this pada, that is feet, is equivalent to the Sudras. And who are these Sudras? These Sudras are nobody, these non-Aryans, which initially the Aryans used to call Dasas or Dasyus like that. The Dasa or Dasyu, they became Sudra in the Varna order, fourfold Varna order. It can be called that fourfold Varna order. In the fourfold Varna order, Dasa became Sudra, and this Aryan Varna was divided into three more Varna. Arya Varna was divided into three more Varnas. At the top, Brahmanas were there. In the middle, the Kshatriyas were there, and the lowest has a Vaishya. So Brahmana has been equated with the mouth of the society. Or mouth, we can say the face of the society. Mukha asin. Mukha means face. As a human, the most important element or important limb of human being is the head, munda ba muha. So Brahmana has been given that status because they will be doing the work of reading, teaching, and also worshipping for the sake of the society. And therefore, Brahmanas has been given a superior position. So far, Vedic culture is concerned. I am not giving any superior position to Brahmanas, but so far Vedic culture is concerned. Then Kshatriyas, they have been equated with the Bahus of the society. Bahu means arms. And you know, the main function of the arm is to protect the body. Yes or no? Main function of the arm is to protect the body. And exactly these Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, they were to protect. Therefore, it has been, it is told that Kshatriya Rakshanti iti Kshatriya. Kshatriya means territory. Territory karo je jatna nabo, je protect karibo, he will be Kshatriya. Then Bis, common men, were called Vaishya. This Vaishya word has been derived from Vis. Bis is a word which denotes initially a political division in the Rigvedic age. Jana, Bis, and Grama. There were three divisions I will discuss, but there were three divisions. Jana is the state, like a state, a tribal state, a Jana. And below Jana, there was the subdivision that is called Bis. And below Bis, there was a Grama. So Bis means common man. Vaishya. Vaishya will be functioning. What are the works, duties of a Vaishya? Vaishya will work for the social sustenance. How? They will cultivate and they will trade. Cultivate and supply food grains to the people, those who are not directly engaged in what? Agriculture, in farming, in cultivating, in producing. Who will be that fellows? Who will be these fellows who will be not directly doing any sort of food production activity? Definitely, those fellows, those who will be engaged in a different way, in different works. For example, protecting, administering, protecting the kingdom, protecting the territory, and administering the territory. There will be the Kshatriyas. Then there will be Brahmanas who will be worshipping, who will be teaching, who will be giving new ideologies. So there will be non-producing class, and this non-producing class will be fed by the common man, Vaishya. And the last class, last order, social order was the Sudra. And they have been equated with feet, as human feet is just a sevaka, servitude, and servant of human body. Feet is the servant of human body because it takes human body whatever mind desires. Human body ko kiye neki jaye, pada neki jaye na bibhina jaga ko. So society ra pada sadrusha habe ko mane these Sudras. In this way, it was designed, and definitely it was designed keeping an eye to division of labor. यदि आमे वर्ण ऑर्डर को देखिबा चारिटी वर्ण, it was definitely keeping an eye to the division of labor. It means जो माने जो क्वालिटी रो जार जो गुण अछि से गुण रो काम करि परिबो. ब्राह्मण who is intelligent may be assigned a duty of teaching and learning, also simultaneously pleasing the gods for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the people. पिला मान लोक मानकर भल पई भगवान को उपासना करिया पूजा करिया ब्राह्मण मानकर काम हो. So these are the things that has been designed with a view on a division of labor. कहीं सोसाइटी सब काम समस्त करि परिबेनी, समस्ते सब काम करि परिबेनी, एंड सेति पई विभिन्न काम विभिन्न लोक मान भीतर बंटाई जिबा दरकार. एंड गीता रे एक कथाटा भल रकम सुंदर भाव वर्णना कराई. भगवत गीता, आई थिंक सम ऑफ यू माइट हैव गॉन थ्रू भगवत गीता. ये सो नो भगवत गीता के पढिचंती आपण मान भीतर? कर्म योग बोली अछि सेठी, भक्ति योग, कर्म योग, ज्ञान योग भीतर कर्म योग रे गोटे जिनस भगवान श्री कृष्ण अर्जुन को बुझेला बेलू कहिचंती जे समाज रे जो चारिटी जाति आछि, से चारिटी जाति मु तयारी करछि एवं कहार आधार रे करछि? गुण कर्म आधार रे. चतुर्वर्णं मया सृष्टं गुण कर्म आधारश. चतुर्वर्णं मया सृष्टं गुण कर्म विभागस. चारिटी वर्ण जोना मु सृष्टि करछि समाज रे, ए गुण कर्म उपरे. इट मीन्स जहार जो गुण, जदि जने लोकर गुण अछि ब्राह्मण हबार, ब्रह्म काम करिवार, ब्रह्म सम्मिलित काम करिवार, ब्रह्म संपर्कित काम कार्य करिवार, से ब्राह्मण हे परिबो. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ somebody has a tendency and eagerness to study, to learn, to teach, to spread learning and to pray for others, then he can be Brahmin. If somebody is very strengthy, valorous, is energetic, then he can be a Kshatriya and join the troops, so become a soldier to protect the motherland. And the common man who has no eagerness for study or not for physical valor, then he can just do the work of an agriculturalist and of a trader. And that was the main point behind this Varna order. It was designed like that. Later on, this Varna order, in course of time, took the shape of a jati. And it was a long way that when from this Varna order, from this Rigvedic and then later Vedic age to early historic age, we see there were proliferation of Varnas. Proliferation means there were multiplication of Varnas. We have 4 Varnas. Now we have 404 caste, more than 404 caste. बर्तमान आमर 404 रु अधिक जाति अछंदी भारत रे. How it became possible? It became possible for different factors. There were the factors like marriage, social interaction, then there was foreign invasion. All these things contributed toward this proliferation of caste, because these castes were nothing but occupational caste. Remember one thing, these castes were not social caste, but they are occupational caste, and later on they became socially established and they became social identity. They got social identity. So in this way, you have to understand that how Varna order was developed, originated and developed. Okay. Now, second question. We shall go to your second question. Okay. Are you clear, Shraddhanjali? Clear?
Yes, sir.
You go through what I told now. I explained it. You go through your books. I think you have not been provided with books. You must have got some email. Your study material must have come to you through email. You study, you go through this block 2 and you will be clarified. Now we shall go to the second thing, and that was this clan. Kinship. Now, kinship, when we talk about kinship, it means the relation, a blood relation, or a blood relation in a family. That is kinship. First of all, I will just give you certain points. First of all, in the later Vedic context, we find several rituals being prescribed to ensure the birth of sons as well as to reinforce the bond between father and son. These includes rituals like Agnihotras or the daily offering to the fire that was prescribed for the householder, as well as major rituals such as Ashwamedha and Rajaswaya. And we began, this is the thing that we see that people in Vedic age, they were praying gods for getting a son. Vedic काଳରେ वैदिक जुगरे लोक माने पुत्र प्राप्ति पाई प्रार्थना करथुले वैदिक श्लोक जो गुडाक अछि सूक्त गुडाक अछि प्रेयर गुडाक इवेंट्स गुडाक होछि किछि नो प्रेयर गुडाक प्रेयर विभिन्न देवता मानकु प्रेयर कराइछि एवं से देवता मानकु प्रेयर कला भितरे से माने कोन मागुचंती इंद्र को मागुचंती भलो वर्षा दियो सूर्य को मागुचंती शक्ति दियो एवं विभिन्न देवादेवी को विभिन्न जिनस मागुचंती एवं से प्रेयर भीतर गोटे जिनस कॉमन दे ऑल आर praying for getting a son. Very interestingly, there is not a single prayer for getting a daughter. But remember one thing, when daughter was born, it was not nobody was repenting. I mean, dukho ko rao nathila, khushi houtile, daughter madhya khushi houtile, because in Vedic age we see that daughters were also given due weightage. But Vedic age was a patriarchal society, and this patriarchal society was based upon this Pitru, concept of Pitru. And who was the head of the family? Head of the family was the Kulapati. Kulapati means Pita, that is the male. But it doesn't mean that women was not asked. Women was relegated to a background, to a distant background. Women were also given importance, but at the forefront there was a male. Male was the head of the family. So he was called Kulapati. So this Kulapati or Grihapati or Grihapati, this concept establishes the theory of patriarchy. Now, who had asked me this question? Who had asked? Is she present? Sarmila?
Yes, sir.
You are present. Okay. You were just asked patriarchal system. Patriarchal system means this male dominating society, male at the forefront, Kulapati, or head of the family was the Kulapati, who used to be the male. And if the father deceased, then who used to be the head of the family? It was the eldest son of the family. Eldest son, Badapuo, used to become the head of the family. Aji madhya ammanako paribare se jinsata achi ki nai? The same Vedic system tradition is continuing. The same patriarchy is still existing in our society. So that is the patriarchal system. Now, this kinship relation was based upon this father and son relationship. Father and son relationship, and we see from that angle, we see the concept of Pitru Dharma, Pitru Loko, like that concept has developed. So it has been mentioned. You just go through your book. The father-son bond. Go through your book. Kinship relationship, that block, that there is a point. Father-son bond was also visualized as extending beyond the immediate pair. The idea was developed through the concept of the Pitru or patrilineal ancestor. Patrilineal ancestor means जोटा आमे को पितृ लोक माने आमे तीनिटी पुरुष पर्यंत आमर मन रखू आम बापा जेजेबापा एवं तांको बापा अण जेजेबापा पर्यंत आमे मन रखू. So patrilineal ancestor, the Pitris are relatively unimportant in the Rig Veda, being mentioned most frequently in the 10th mandala, which, as noted earlier, is relatively late section of the text. However, they are assigned far more importance in the later Vedic tradition. Eta amara ପୂର୍ବବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ବୈଦିକ ଯୁଗ ବା ଋଗ୍ବେଦିକ ଯୁଗରେ ପିତୃ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଏତେ ଦୃଢ ନଥିଲା. ଲେଟର ବେଦିକ ଏଜ୍ ବେଳକୁ ଦିସ୍ କିନସିପ୍ ବା ପେଟ୍ରିଆର୍କାଲ ସିଷ୍ଟମଟା ବେଶୀ କନସୋଲିଡେଟେଡ ହେଇଛି, ବେଶୀ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେନ୍ଥେନିଂ ହେଇଛି. ଇଜ ଇଟ୍ କ୍ଲିୟର ଶର୍ମିଲା?
Yes, sir.
You go through. If you are not satisfied or if you are not convinced, then again you can put this question to me tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever within these 8 days when we are carrying on our duty, we shall discuss it. Now coming, this is this first chapter, first unit. Now come to the second unit, and this is the most interesting and important unit. That is the development of Buddhism and Jainism. Buddhism and Jainism. Social and intellectual context of rise of Buddhism and Jainism. Is a question. You may write down this question. First question I have already given you. Discuss the natures of Vedic society, where Vedic culture. Then give a brief description of the development of the Varna system. Okay. Next we shall discuss the social and intellectual context of the rise of Buddhism and Jainism. Now, again, I shall ask you that please come up with your doubts, then we should go ahead. Who was the founder of Buddhism? Who was the founder of the Buddhism?
Gautam Buddha, sir.
Buddha, sir.
Gautam Buddha, in which year Gautam Buddha was born?
Gautam Buddha was born in
Kapilavastu.
He was born in Kapilavastu, but in which year? I am asking year. I am asking year. Who was jନ୍ମ ହେଇଥିଲେ? जे उत्तर देवाक चाहिए से माइक खोलू, जे उत्तर न दब माइक खोलंतुनी, माइक टा बंद रखंतु कहीं ना माइक खोलिला बेलू डिस्टर्बेंस होची.
Sir, 480 BC.
566 BC.
566 or 67? 67, 66 BC, correct. Now, these two things are very silly questions. I had just asked this question to initiate a discussion. But the most important point is that what is the social context of the rise of Buddhism? We shall come to the intellectual context later on. But what is the social context? Do you understand the social context? We can say, what are the social factors behind the rise of the Buddhism? You remember, social factors is nothing but just now. Yes, Rakesh, you want to speak? You, welcome.
Sir, I think at that time in the medieval period, many of the peoples of the society are very much tortured by the higher caste societies, members of the higher caste and the Brahmanis. So that to make a harmonious harmony in the society, so Buddhism and Jainism is developed.
Correct. It is correct, but partially correct. It is not totally correct, but I can tell you it is partially correct. First of all, I must rectify one of your mistakes. It is on medieval period. It is totally ancient period. Most ancient.
Another thing is the society become very much rigid and become rule bounded, and it is there is no flexibility to live a good life.
Okay.
So that okay.
Okay. Now tell me one thing, Rakesh. Is society not rigid now? Is society not rigid now? Are there no social laws?
Sir,
Social laws ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ନାହିଁ,
sir, now,
social rigidity ନାହିଁ, caste system
sir,
ନାହିଁ, ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ ସିନା ନାହିଁ, ବାହାରେ ବହୁତ ଅଛି. But where are Buddhas? Where are Mahavir?
but, but now we have the fundamental rights also. But there, at that time, there is no rights. One must abide by the rules of the Brahmins, and they are the supreme power in the village and in that area.
In the community. Okay, take. First of all, I must tell you that it is not medieval period, it is ancient period. Number two, you are right. The social factor or social context lies with the fact of this rise of Varna system, origin of the Varna system, birth of the Varna system, establishment of the Varna system. When Varna system from Rigvedic times to the 6th century BC, ଆମେ ऋग्वेदिक टाइम टा केबे नउचे 1500 नै कि 1000 BC पर्यंत, from 1000 BC रु नै कि 600 BC भितरे ए 400 वर्ष भितरे जो प्रकार वर्ण ऑर्डर भितरे विभिन्न प्रकार इवोल्यूशन हला, डेवलपमेंट हला एवं बाइफर्केशन हला, मु जोटा कहउथली विभिन्न प्रकार रे वर्ण प्रोलिफरेशन हला, विभिन्न प्रकार जाति आसिले, the society was divided. There was in Rigvedic as society was based on tribal character, so there was a tribal identity and there was unity in this tribal society. Maybe that may be a Bharat society, but that they were united as Bharatas. Maybe there was Puru, but they were united as Puru. Now in this society, later Vedic as this tribal system was denounced. A cosmopolitan culture developed. Society became one, taking all the tribes into consideration. But the problem is that society became one but divided. Divided into caste, varna, into different castes, different varnas, different orders. And if had there been this division or this bifurcation, a linear or horizontal, there wouldn't have been such a thing, such a tragedy or such a pathetic scenario in the society. This division was vertical in nature. That is, within there was a hierarchy. In this division, there was a hierarchy. There were some castes which were higher caste, some castes were lower caste. Generally, higher caste people were dictating the terms and condition, social norms, social rules for the lower caste people. And as Rakesh told, they were tortured. Virtually, they were tortured. There was torture of the lower caste people. For example, Vaishyas, Sudra, they were tortured. So it was generally Brahmanas were blamed with this torture. They are blamed with this torture, this sort of dictation, social rules, social norms. This is one thing. Second thing, this is social. Now coming to religious ideology. Now in Rigvedic case, religion was very plain and simple. What was the basis of religion in the Rigvedic case? It was simple, based upon faith and belief. And this faith and belief relied upon some powers, some energy. And these powers and energy are nothing but different natural aspects. Natural aspects like water, like air, like light, like Agni, fire. All these natural aspects were treated as gods and goddesses. Then this earth, gods and goddesses, and they were being prayed. Prayer kara houtla. Rigvedic age there was only one thing, that is prayer and jagya. Jagya, if we will discuss jagya, what is jagya? Jagya is something which is an offering. Offering. Jachi ki dog ame jagya kochu. Offering to gods and goddesses because of their blessings to humankind. And as they had showered their blessing upon this jagya, upon the humankind, upon the people had some moral obligation to give them in return, and that was yajna, in which they were offering milk, ghee, curd, fruits, like that things, and they were praying. If you will go through Rig Veda, you'll find they were completely filled up with humans, and these humans are nothing but prayers, as I have already told, repeating it. Prayers, prarthana. Human would kitchen prarthana. And prarthana kortule from the core of their heart. This prarthana, these prayers were meant for protection, for bestowing them with good harvest, for bestowing them with good cattle wealth. Wealth was cattle. Cow was the most important wealth for them. That is the unit of price, unit of money, unit of wealth. Cow. Cow means guy. So in this way, in Rigvedic age, we see that there was simplicity in religion, simplicity in their social life. All these things were simple, very not crucial, not critical. But coming to later Vedic age, when this Aryan population that became increased, began to increase, and what happened? They migrated eastward. From westward they migrated eastward, and they established themselves in Ganga, Jamuna, Doab, and they called this new homeland as Aryavarta. Here they used iron technology. Aryans, they knew the iron technology. Now I am coming to iron culture also. Iron technology, and from 1000 BC to 1600 BC, this iron technology played a very important part in the history of mankind, in the history of India, in the history and culture of India. For the development of Indian civilization, this iron technology has a contribution. And during this time, the Aryans, they employed this, they applied this iron technology, and they cleaned this Ganga, Jamuna, Doab, and it was Doab. So there was a rich harvest, rich production, and when there was rich harvest, rich production, there was excess production, surplus production. So there was also another thing developed, trade and commerce. And gradually, social life became complex. You go through your books, you will find the answer. Social life became complex. So also there was economic life, complex economic life began. So many crafts began to be established. So many crafts that cropped up. Bibhinna prakar craft asila, bibhinna prakar trade hela. So with these crafts, with these trades, new types of caste also emerged, because new profession emerged. Also professional groups emerged. As new professional, do you follow me? As new profession emerged, new professional groups also emerged with the new identity of a new caste. So social division was eminent, and social division was visible. And here, coming to the religious sector, religious sphere, we see the simple religion of Vedic age was no more visible in the later Vedic age. What was the religion? Religion was Yajna persisted, Yajna continued, but not with the common man. Common man was conducting Yajna in his home, Delhi. Every householder, Kulapati or Grihapati, was expected to conduct Yajna in his home, Delhi, during Rigvedic time. But coming to later Vedic age, there was no scope for common man to hold or conduct any Yajna, because now Yajna became the rights of the rich and the kingly or princely community, princely class, because Yajna involved the participation of lot of Brahmanas. Now, there was a group already evolved, Brahmanas, and they were the worshipper, they were the keeper of the religion. Therefore, Brahmanas were invited to conduct Yajna. And these Yajnas were not small. These Yajnas were celebrated by the kings and monarchs, Samrat, Ekrat, Virat, all these big kings. They were conducting Yajna for the sake of their supremacy, in order to show their supremacy. You must have known a Yajna was there, and this Yajna was called Ashwamedha sacrifice. You must have heard this name of Ashwamedha sacrifice. There are so many sacrifices. Vajapaya, Ashwamedha, and then your Rajasuya. All these sacrifices were conducted in a very grand manner, in a big scale. it was not within the purview, within the capacity of a common man to conduct. Number of Brahmins, more than one Brahmins were involved in this yajna. You must have heard this, as I told you, Ashwamedha sacrifice. What is this sacrifice? Ashwamedha sacrifice was generally conducted by a king in order to establish his supremacy over the region which he used to think as his one. गोटे राजा जो गोटे अंचल उपरे गोटे विस्तृत अंचल उपरे गोटे विस्तृत राज्य उपरे निजर अधिकार एवं निजर सार्वभौमत्व क्षमता को प्रतिष्ठा करिया पई अश्वमेध यज्ञ करथुला एवं ताकू देखिया पई एवं ताकू प्रतिष्ठा करिया पई से अश्वमेध यज्ञ करथुला एवं कोन थिला सेतरे लक्ष्य जे मु होची यार सार्वभौम अधिकारी सर्वशक्तिमान जदि कई मते चैलेंज करिवो अश्व को धरिवो ताले मो सहित युद्ध करिवो जदि मु हारि गली ताले अश्वमेध यज्ञ बंद होला जदि जितिली अश्वमेध यज्ञ से राजा मोर बसता स्वीकार करिवो I think you know that. So all these things suggest there was some sort of criticality developed in the sphere of religion. Even common men were debarred from conducting their rightful duty towards religion. In the name of religion, there was corruption. Brahmin priests, they used to chant some mantras. Mantras means those different types of humans. And they were not always within the capacity of a common man to understand. ଯାହାକୁ ଆମେ ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ କହିପାରିବା ଦୁର୍ବୋଧ୍ୟ ମନ୍ତ୍ର ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ଆଜି ମଧ୍ୟ ତମେ କୌଣସି ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ ପାଖରେ ବସିକି ଯଦି ପୂଜା ରେ ଦେଖିବ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ମନ୍ତ୍ର ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ ହଉଥିବ ତମେ କଣ ବୁଝିପାରିବ ମନ୍ତ୍ରରେ କଣ କୁହାଉଛି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ଗାଳି ଦିଆ ହଉଛି କି ତମକୁ ଗାଳି ଦିଆ ହଉଛି ବା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ପୂଜା କରା ହଉଛି କି I am not actually criticizing any caste but the thing is that ଦୁର୍ବୋଧ୍ୟ ମନ୍ତ୍ର ଦୁର୍ବୋଧ୍ୟ means ଆମର ବୋଧଗମ୍ୟ ନୁହଁ ସେଟା ବୁଝିପାରୁନେ so common man could not understand what the priest is reciting. But he has to just sit there as a mute spectator. गोटे मुख साक्षी भाया बसथिबो दर्शक भाया एवं ब्राह्मण जहा कहिले. But what happened in the previous age, Rigvedic age रे कोन होतला? They were just reciting it from the heart of from the core of their heart. What they were feeling, they were telling. That was very simple. Here now, criticality entered in the sphere of religion. So in the sphere of religion, there was corruption. There was some sort of misunderstanding, some sort of negligence. And also there was some sort of resistance by the upper caste for the lower caste to enter the arena of religion. Lower caste mane possibility. कालक्रमे शूद्र मानकु जो मानकु दास बोली कहउतला दस्यु बोली कहउतला जो माने ननारियन थिले से माने घरे काम करथिले कालक्रमे से मानकु वेद सुनिया पई मध्ये मना कराला पूजा पाखरे बसिया पई मध्ये मना कराला वैश्य माने मध्ये से बेला विभिन्न प्रकार रो धार्मिक अनुष्ठान वंचित हेले क्षत्रिय से माने राजन्य गोष्ठी थिले से मानकु किछि परिमाणले मिलुतला सुजोग मिलुतला सो दुर्बोध मंत्र उच्चारण एवं ता सहित यज्ञ रे पशु बलि मध्ये दिया गला एनिमल सैक्रिफाइस कह जाय अश्वमेध यज्ञ रे जो घोड़ाटा बुली के आसीबो ताकू बलि पड़तला ताकू छेद पड़तला ताकू सेठी हत्या कराउतला सो एनिमल क्रुएलिटी आल्सो डेवलप्ड so all these things were definitely tending towards an atmosphere filled with dissatisfaction. ये सब जिनस गुड़ाक गोटे प्रकार वातावरण को डेवलप कला जो गोटे प्रकार डिसैटिस्फैक्शन आ जाइतला डिसैटिस्फैक्शन मींस असंतोष का भितर साधारण लोक भितर एवं एही समय रे जो दी जण मनीषी मानकर बा जो दी जण ग्रेट मैन those two intellectual those two great saints they emerged. They were Gautam Buddha and Mahavir. And what they taught or preached, it was nothing very simple thing they preached, and all those things were there. All those things were there in the Rigvedic time, in Veda. They didn't speak any new thing. They told all those old things, but in a new way, simple way, and people accepted. So this is the social and intellectual context of the rise of Buddhism and Jainism. there may be a question for you. Discuss the factors contributing toward the rise of revolutionary sects like Buddhism and Jainism. And these two sects are called revolutionary sects because they revolutionized the religious and social arena of the then time. They changed. Revolutionized means they changed the social and religious atmosphere of the then age. Now, let's discuss about Buddhism and then Jainism in short. And I invite you, some of you, please initiate. You know Buddhism, you know Jainism. You initiate some discussion, then we shall have an interaction. Now your ARD is telling you, please ask questions. Yes.
Sir, what is the Shraman philosophy?
Shraman philosophy.
Yes, sir.
Shramana philosophy is nothing but Buddhist philosophy. Buddhist bhikkhus are called Shramanas. Buddhist bhikkhus are called Shramanas. Now, this bhikkhu or Shramana, they were abiding by following the Buddhist teaching. What are the, first of all, you tell me, what are the teachings of Buddha? What are the teachings? Yeah, was,
World is full of suffering.
no, world is full of suffering, that is true. But what is this? That world is full of suffering. A cause of the suffering is desire, elimination, desire leads to the elimination of suffering. All these things are. But what is it is called in Buddhist philosophy?
Nibbana.
Nirvana, not Nirvana. This is called Arya Satyani, Arya Satya. Noble truth. These are called noble truth. Four noble truth. You write down. Four noble truth. Four noble truth. Okay. Arya. These are called Chaturi Arya Satyani. World is full of suffering. The cause of the suffering is desire. All these things, these are called Arya Satyani. Then Buddha told another thing. What is that thing? Buddha prescribed some marga, some path, some routes for the elimination of suffering. What are they?
Arya Ashtanga Marga.
These are called Arya Ashtangika Marga. Arya Ashtangika Marga. And these are eightfold path, as we call it in English, eightfold path. For example, right livelihood, right speech, right action, right meditation, right contemplation, right effort. These are eightfold path. So these are the Buddhist teaching for everybody. Now, Sramanas or Bhikkhus who are living in Sangha, they have to follow certain principle, certain teaching, in addition to this Ashtangika Marga. These are the Marga to be followed by everybody in the society. Maybe a Sramana, maybe a Brahmana, maybe any sort of man, common man. But a Sramana who has denounced his worldly life, worldly pleasure, worldly attachment, and has come to as a bhikkhu to live, denouncing everything, has to follow certain things which will differentiate him from the common man in the society. And these are called Dasa Kusalani, 10 precepts. 10 precepts. Write down 10 precepts. And among these Dasa Kusalani, there are principles like these are called 10 precepts or principles, like not to kill, not to steal, not to take liquor, not to take salt, not to be indulged in pleasure, not to sleep on the soft bed mattresses, and not to lie, micha koibani, to maintain brahmacharya. All these things someone has to follow. So these two things someone has to follow and to be strictly adhered to. And these are the philosophy of the Sramanas. These are the on these precepts based the Sramana philosophy, to lead a life completely devoid of any pleasure and attachment. This is the Sramana philosophy. Now, who asked me? Sarmila. Who had put this question, Sarmila?
No, sir. Yes, sir, I understand.
Susri.
Yes,
Now, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
You go through your books, you go through your lesson, which has been sent to you through email, and if any you are not convinced of any doubt you face, then please come up with your doubt tomorrow. We shall again discuss, okay? It doesn't mean that we have completed one block, doesn't mean that we shall not go to that block again. We shall discuss. It's a counseling class, which I shall take up again, okay?
Another thing, Saranam Gacchami, Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Sir, tell me about it shortly.
Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Sangam Saranam Gacchami.
Dharmam Saranam Gacchami.
Dharmam Saranam Gacchami, huh? Yes.
Sir, tell me it in shortly, sir.
Now, these are the three most important things in Buddhism: Buddha, Sangha, and Dharma. A Buddhi, a Sramana has to surrender to these three things: Buddha, Sangha, and Dharma. This is nothing technical. I think nothing very much important. Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Sangam Saranam Gacchami. It means denouncing the world. I'm coming for the rescue of coming under the what I shall tell. I mean, ସବୁ କିଛି ମୁଁ ଛାଡ଼ିକି ବୁଦ୍ଧଙ୍କ ଶରଣରେ ଆସୁଛି. Sharan means I'm rescuing myself under the guidance of protection of Buddha, Sangha, and Dharma. Denouncing everything, I'm coming under the protection of Buddha, Sangha, and Dharma. That is Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dharmam Saranam Gacchami, and Sangam Saranam Gacchami. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Rakesh, is your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, sir. It's clear, sir.
Okay, Dr. Sao, do you want to have an interaction with the students?
Hello.
Hello. Okay, sir. Just let me discuss with you some important points, and you just take 5 minutes break.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. You please continue.
Okay. So, dear friends, and did you collect the assignment question from the website? Because as I already suggested you to collect the assignment question from the website. As you know that sir has already discussed the important concept of Harappan civilization, Hellenistic period, Vedic period. Then you'll find the decline of Buddhism. Then rise of Buddhism, rise of Jainism. Then you'll find decline of Buddhism, then decline of Jainism, then rise of Brahmanism. These are the things sequence-wise you should remember and ask question and discuss with your resource persons. Okay, now you understood? Yes or no? Harappan civilization followed by Early-Vedic period. You can say the Early-Vedic period. Early-Vedic period, what was the religious condition? What was the society? What was the polity? What was the religion followed by the people? And what's about in the latter Vedic period? And what was the transformation it took place in the latter Vedic period? And how the society, polity, economy, and religion, which is completely different from early Vedic period, into what way? Because you'll find that in the early Vedic period, that the society, there was no caste system. There was no caste system. But caste system, it appeared or asserted in latter Vedic period. Clear now why? Why it happened so? And these four caste system, as I meant, as your resource person already highlighted, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. And their duties were allocated. Their responsibilities and duties were allocated, and nobody can uh, dare to violate it because it was binding on them. Okay, all the rules and regulations were completely binding on them. Nobody could dare to violate it. So that was the condition. It was prevalent in the latter Vedic period. But in the early Vedic period, we found that there was a stratification of society as a priest, warrior, and common people. There was no caste system. Why? You can ask this type of question to the resource persons. Why there was a no caste system? And how the caste system developed? And what was the reason for the development of the caste system? How the caste system became so rigid? What are the reason behind it? Because when the Aryans came and established their dominion or their habitation and in India, and that time you cannot find or any caste system. There was only stratification of society, that priest, warriors, and common people. Priest means those who are worshippers, and they worshipped on behalf of the common people. So they are priests. Warriors means those who defended the country, protected us, protected the people from outside aggression, invasion, and war or battle. They were involved in war or in battle, so they were called warriors because they protected us. Their defense system was developed. So this is about your warriors, and common people, those who are involved in different kind of professions which developed or which flourished in the early Vedic period. But question arises here that what was the background of the emergence of this caste system? You can ask to your resource persons. Okay. So that is why it's a very important concept. It should be cleared that, remember, the Aryans, when they came to the Indian soil and established their dominion, established their own permanent habitation, but their plan was not to go back, isn't it? Their plan was to not to go back to the original place where they came. That was not the original place. But they tried to establish their habitation on the Indian soil and mingle with because they could not keep separate or segregate or isolated from the rest of the people. Clear now? They came to India. They defeated the Harappans and settled down on the soil of India. But how long they will keep themselves separated or isolated? Because time came, they tried to mingle with the Harappans. They tried to mingle with that non-Aryans. Clear now? So due to the mingling of, blending of, or intermixing of the Aryans and non-Aryans, so gradually you can find the caste system, it emerged, it flourished. It flourished. And this caste system ultimately led to the codification of different social norms which bind or which were completely binding to the people. Nobody could violate it. If anybody violated it, so as per the caste rules, they will be penalized. Certain penalty they have to pay, or they had to pay. So in that way, the caste system it developed because the Aryans and non-Aryans they try to mingle with each other. Because the marital system it developed, because of the kinship system it developed among between the Aryans and non-Aryans. So that a caste system which flourished in the later Vedic period. That was the background of the caste system. And the caste system, it was so much, you can say, norms, the norms and rigidity was so much, or you can say, confined to each and every caste that no caste can, or you can say, no caste could violate or dare to violate the rules and norms. And two major castes was there, that Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishya and Sudras. As you know that Brahmins mean the priest, the advisors to the kings, the counselors to the kings, or you can say the advisor of the kings. Then then come to your Kshatriyas, who are the warriors. They are the rulers. They are the you can say they are the you can say soldiers. You can say these are the people who are involved in Kshatriya caste. And Vaishya means trading communities, different kind of professions who followed in the latter Vedic period. They came under this fold. They are called Kshatriya. They were called the Brahmins, Kshatriyas. And as you know, that they are the trading communities. Their main profession was to trade with the different states or different provinces or different territorial states. Then come to your Sudras. Sudras means though they are called as the service providers. They are called the service providers to the rest of the above caste. Okay. And these castes were provided service by the Sudras. That is why Sudras were considered or envisaged as the lower caste, because their profession was treated, or they were treated as lower caste people. Because the profession it says, because the profession it reflects the lifestyle of the people. Clear now? So now these things you can discuss with your resource person. Now I request our resource person to continue, and if he is available.
I'm available, very much available. Thank you.
Sir. Okay, sir.
Dr. Sau. Thank you, Dr. Sau.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. You just carried on some time in my absence. Okay, now let's move to another topic. That is, we had already discussed about Buddhism and the Sakushalani, that Arya Ashtanga Marga, then Shramana philosophy or Shramana concept. All these things, while Buddhism tried to bring some sort of solace for the common man in the 6th century BC, or we can say early historical period of India, Jainism was also not lagging behind at the same time. Jainism also equally contributed for the sake of maintaining a social order based upon coordination, cooperation, and harmony. And you know who was the founder? I would like to ask you a question. Who was the founder of Jainism? Who was the founder of Jainism? Anybody? Anybody? Jaina dharma ro kiye thile
sir.
No, no, wrong.
Sir,
No. Rishabdev, correct. Susri is right. Rishabdev was the founder. It is called traditionally, Rishabdev has been credited with the founding of the Jaina order. Jainism is an order, is a order, social order, is also a religious order, a socio-religious order. It was not confined to religion only. It was also spread and also pervading the society, whole society. So Jainism, we know the first Tirthankara was Rishabdeva or Rishabnath. Second Tirthankara was Aristonemi. And both these Tirthankara belong to Rigvedic period. So Jainism is as old as Rigvedic age. It is very interesting. Now, why then Jainism again became so much vibrant during 6th century BC along with Buddhism? Because of this social and religious corruption, social and religious disorder that began during the last part of the later Vedic time, later Vedic period. We can just be precise by giving it a date from 8th century to 6th century BC. 8th century to 6th century BC, within this period, there was some sort of corrupted practices in the sphere of religion and social harmony was lost. So Buddhism and Jainism simultaneously, although they were not coordinated or they were not cooperating each other, but simultaneously they were carrying out some sort of exercises in order to establish social harmony among the people. Now, what are the philosophy of Jainism? Jaina monks are called Nigranthas. Buddhist monks are called Sramanas. Jaina monks are called Nigranthas. Now, 23rd Tirthankar was Parshvanath. Parshvanath was born 250 years ago of Mahavir, Bardhaman Mahavir. Bardhaman Mahavirଙ୍କର ଜନ୍ମରୁ 250 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବରୁ Parshvanath ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇଥିଲେ, and he was also born in a Kshatriya clan, Kshatriya family. His father was Ashwasena, the king of Kashi. Now Mahavir was also born in a Kshatriya family. Buddha was also born in a Kshatriya family. Irony is that both these reformers, both these revolutionary sect, the reformer of this revolutionary sects, they were born in Kshatriya family. So there was some sort of, we can say, a class between these two social order on the top, in the those who were at the top of the society, two social order, Brahmana and Kshatriya. Very interesting. Another interesting thing I must focus. Without this interesting thing, our knowledge will be half-filled. You know who were the first disciples of Lord Buddha? बुद्धଙ୍କର जो शिष्य ମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରୁ କିଏ ଥିଲେ? ପ୍ରଥମେ 5 ଜଣ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଥିଲେ ବୁଦ୍ଧଙ୍କର. And who were they?
Upagupta.
Upagupta. Upagupta was a very late tradition. He was a contemporary of Moggalliputta Tissa during the time of Ashoka. 5 ଜଣ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଥିଲେ, ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ ମାନେ ଥିଲେ. 5 ଜଣ ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣଙ୍କୁ ବୁଦ୍ଧ ପ୍ରଥମେ ତାଙ୍କ ସରମନ ଦେଇଥିଲେ, ଶିକ୍ଷା ଦେଇଥିଲେ. And it was in Saranath. And this event is called Dharma Chakra Pravartana in Buddhism. Dharma Chakra Pravartana means turning of the law of the wheel, turning of the wheel of the law. ଯାହା ଧର୍ମ ବୋଲି କୁହାଉଥିଲା ତାକୁ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ କରାଗଲା. धर्मर माने कौन ताको बुद्ध बुझिया को जाई कहिथिले जे व्हाट इज बीइंग प्रैक्टिस्ड एज धर्म इज नॉट धर्म एंड देन व्हाट इज धर्म धर्म इज दैट व्हिच envisages us with the feeling of love and pity towards others जो कि हमको अन्य मान प्रति भल पाइबा एवं सिंपैथी करुणा संवेदनता आनी दबो सेटा होची धर्म सेति में देखवा जाय धर्म चक्र परिवर्तन that is the most important event in the history of Buddhism and it is called Dharma Chakra Pravartana and Sarnath it is the place where it was done it was Sarnath. So coming to Jainism we see the same thing happening here that both Buddha and Jaina yes Rakesh do you want to speak do you want to tell something?
Yes, sir. Sir, name the first five. The monks receives the knowledge from Buddha at Saranath.
Name of the five monks, those who received the sermon from Buddha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I don't have any information about them. I don't know the name of these five Brahmins. Only I know. 5 Brahmins, that is important. Names is not important. You may get it from some books. You may go through your blog that there it might have been mentioned. But at the present stage, I don't have any information about the name of these 5 monks, 5 Brahmins who received sermon from Buddha. Okay.
Sir, thank you.
No, okay, I will try my best to collect the name. Till now, I have not tried because I have not thought this is an important thing. But it is an important thing that even if Buddha was against the Brahminical practices, even if Buddha was against caste system, even Buddha was against the Brahminical supremacy, still then his sisters were Brahmins and Vaishyas and Kshatriya. From all sects of life, and from all wake of life, Buddha's had his disciples, but first these 5 disciples were from Brahmin community. Anyway, I will try to find out the name of the 5 disciples of Buddha, and it's a very good question you asked. Till now, I have not actually tried to get this name. It's a very good question. We should know it. Okay, I'll try to find out names. Okay, perhaps within this class. I mean, this period that we are discussing, I may be able to give you the names. Okay. Yes. Yes, Vishwajita. Tell me.
Sir, as Buddhist bhikkhus are known as Sravanas, just like Jain monks are known as
Nigranthas.
Okay, sir.
Nigrantha. Nigranthas. Nigranthas.
Sir, thank you.
So, actually, I was discussing about this Mahavir. Mahavir had not propagated any new thing. What Mahavir propagated, it was already there. Mahavir only propagated Jaina order. Jaina संप्रदायर जो मत थिला जो फिलोसफी थिला आदर्श थिला आइडियोलॉजी थिला ताको केवल प्रोपागेट करथिले he only added a single precept along with the 4 precepts that already Parshvanath has advocated, Parshvanath has preached. Parshvanath had given 4 precepts to be followed by the Jaina monks, Jaina Nigranthas, or the disciples who have adopted Jainism, Jaina order. What are these 4? You know that Satya, Ahimsa, Aparigraha, Asteya. And only Mahavir added a single one, that is Brahmacharya. These 5 are called Brahmacharya. These 5 are called combinedly Pancha Mahavrata or Pancha Pratigya in Jaina tradition. Jaina parampara re ए 5टी प्रिसेप्ट को ए 5टी शिक्षा को 5टी नीति को पंच महाव्रत बोली कहा जाए बा पंच महाव्रत बा प्रतिज्ञा पंच प्रतिज्ञा बोली कहा जाए Now, Mahavir put emphasis upon three things. And these three things are Satkarma, Sat Vishwas, and Sat Charitra. Right conduct, right belief, and right action. These are called three Ratna. And the most important thing, both Buddhism and Jainism, they laid emphasis upon ahimsa. Now, why ahimsa? If intellectually we will judge, what is the philosophy behind establishing so much importance upon ahimsa? Both Buddhism and Jainism, they put emphasis upon ahimsa. Can anybody come with an answer? Why ahimsa and satya? You see, both Jainism and Buddhism, both of them laid importance upon satkarma, right action, then satya, truthfulness, then ahimsa, non-violence. Because at the time, society was in deep need of these three things. That everybody must do right work, his own work assigned to him, as per his one character, as per his one nature. And then everybody should follow the course of satya, that truthfulness, in order to have a better society. And side by side with satya and karma, there is ahimsa. And I have already told you that in the sphere of religion, they are already into, they have these higher caste people, Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas were patrons, and Brahmanas were the doers. Brahmanas were carrying out the order, or Brahmanas were carrying out the religious activities, and Kshatriyas were the patron. And they were doing yajna. In the name of yajna, there were pasubali, jaku kaiba animal sacrifices. Hingsa, pasubali means hingsa. Pasu manunku bali diyautala. Ebong sei jo hingsa ta pasu manunko prati houtala, that was also gradually spreading throughout the society, and that sort of treatment was also meted to the human being. Samajro sadharano tolua borgoro lokonku, the people belonging to the lowest class of the society, they were also meted with this sort of treatment, violent treatment, hingsatmaka ବ୍ୟବହାର ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ହଉଥିଲା. Therefore, both this religion, in order to protect the society from this sort of corruption, from these sorts of malfunctioning, from these sorts of superstitions, they focused upon right action and right belief, that is Sat Vishwas and ahimsa. So we see that Mahavir gave importance upon moksha. So also Buddha also gave importance upon nirvana. The most important thing that both these preachers, both these religious sects, they tried hard to focus on the ultimate truth of the life. That the ultimate truth lies with the eternal peace of the soul, eternal peace of a human being. Eternal peace will only be available through this practice of Arja Ashtanga Marga, Dasa Kusalani, or Pancha Mahavrata. This is what Mahavir and Buddha, they tried to convince the people. And they were not new. What Mahavir and what Buddha, they told, they preached, they were not new. In Vedic literature also, in Vedic philosophy, in Vedic teaching also, in Veda also, these things are there. In Veda, it has been clearly mentioned, Satyam Vada. Always tell the truth. So in Veda, there is also importance to Satya. So also Mahavir and Gautam Buddha, they put emphasis on Satya. Then there is also emphasis upon ahimsa in Veda. Now in Upanishad, there is a prayer, and I think almost all of you know that prayer. And Upanishad, you know, it is a part of Veda. So in Upanishad, there is a prayer. That prayer reads like that: Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve shantu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Okay, I think almost all of you know this prayer. And if this prayer was there in Veda, Vedic literature, then there was definitely a concept of ahimsa. Sarve bhavantu sukhina means all are required to be helpful. Prayer is being made to the heaven, the God, to the Almighty, to the supernatural powers, to the different forces of the nature, that everybody should remain happy. It means there was a prohibition of ahimsa. So in this way, whatever Buddhism and Jainism taught, these were not new things. They were already there in Vedic teaching, in Vedic philosophy, in Vedic culture. And they only try to make these things reach common people in a simple language. Both of them taught or preached their religious ideology in the Pali language. Pali means the language of the people, not in Sanskrit. Sanskrit was the language of the elite, higher class people. So common man can understand Pali. That is why that Buddhism and Jainism became very much popular among the common mass. And Buddhism reached South India. Of course, Jainism also reached South India because we get the information that Chandragupta Maurya in his last day was spent. His last day was spent in Sravana Belogala in Karnataka near Mysore. So also Buddhism also reached Maharashtra, Buddhism also reached Tamil Nadu, Buddhism reached Andhra Pradesh. It penetrated into the deep south, and during the time of Ashoka, it reached Ceylon. And also in course of time, it reached China, Japan. Because of the efforts and because of the patronage of some royal families, Buddhism was not only spread out throughout India, but also it went to the overseas countries. Now we have another chapter that how Buddhism could reach this peninsular India and South India, Central India. It is because of this trading community. They adhered to this Buddhist philosophy very much. They adhered to the Buddhist philosophy. They liked Buddhist philosophy. And with the growth of urban trends, urban activities in northern India, and gradually these urban activities was spread to central India and to South India, into the deep south and the peninsular India, this western Deccan, eastern Deccan. So from 6th century BC, there was a trend, urban trend. This is called second urbanization. First urbanization was reflected in Harappan cities. Second urbanization of India was reflected in the Ganga Valley urban development, Ganga Valley civilization, where we see that from 8th century BC onward, there was a trend of development and spread of urban character towards different parts of India from Ganga Valley. And there were trade routes often to different parts, to Maharashtra, through central India, to Deccan, again through central India, and to eastern India through the central India, and along with the Ganga Valley, along with the Ganga river Ganga, to eastern India, like Bengal, Odisha, to South India, like Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. All these trade routes help the traders to reach these areas with their merchandise. And these traders, they not only brought merchandise with them, they also brought the Buddhist philosophy along with them. And we know the traders were also coming from different areas to the Madhya Desha, central India. And they were also getting different philosophy which were in circulation, which were at the time popular in central India and northern India. Northern India, when we talk about northern India, it must be understood that Ganga Valley civilization. So in this way, we get a reference that two traders from Jataka story. Jataka stories are very much related to Buddhist tradition. Bauddha parampara gote hissa hochi gote angsa hochi Jataka kalpa. And in the Jataka story, what we get that two traders from Utkala, and it has been mentioned in Pali language, therefore it has been mentioned that Ukkala. Two traders from Ukkala, and they were Tapasvi and Ballika. They reached Majjhima Desa with their merchandise and they met Buddha. So in this way, you can surmise, we can come to the conclusion that traders were the main instrument who brought Buddhism to peninsular India and central India. Because Buddhist monks also, they traveled along with this trade highway, trade routes to different places, and they established their sanghas there, and they tried to preach the essence of Buddhist teaching among the people of these regions. And thereby, peninsular India and central India got a chance to be acquainted with Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist teaching. And I think we have covered almost four of this, all the four chapters, 4 units. Society is represented in Vedic literature, Iron Age culture, socio-religious ferment in North India, Buddhism, Jainism, and Buddhist emergence of Buddhism in central and peninsular India. These 4 units we have covered. I have tried to give in my best to acquaint with you with these 4 topics. And now we have another 15 minutes. I am inviting doubts and questions from you, and we shall interact now.
Sir,
Yes, Radhanjali, yes.
where is Angladesh? Whether it is near Andhra or Himachal, Angladesh. Ang, Kosala, Ang.
Yes, it is not actually audible clearly. You just try to be audible. Speak it, huh? You bring your mouth.
Ang. Magadha, Kosala, Ang.
Anga.
Yes.
Anga.
Yes, sir. Angraj Karmi, say where it is. It is South or North India?
No, it is North India.
Anga
is situated now. It is identified with the territory of North Bihar.
North Bihar.
North Bihar.
And Magadha?
Magadha is identified with present Bihar.
Present Bihar. Okay. Kosala is in Odisha?
No, not Odisha. Kosala is identified with the territories lying on the river Ganga, a part of Uttar Pradesh. A part of Uttar Pradesh, we can say that part of Uttar Pradesh from Kanpur, Gorakhpur, then part of not touching Lucknow. Allahabad will come under Bascha, and northern Uttar Pradesh. Northern Uttar Pradesh.
And Sakya and Bhaji?
Bhaji is the northwestern part of Bihar.
Northwest.
Vaishali, in Bihar there is a Vaishali district. Okay. This Vaishali was the capital city of Bhaji.
And Sakya?
Sakyas, it was situated in the Nepal's Tarai. Tarai region is the Tarai, that is the hilly tracts of the Nepalese region, Nepalese kingdom. Sakyas.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anything else? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Sir, my question is, why there is a non-violence concept in Buddhism? Is it to stop the cruelty and जो बलि प्रथा थिला ताको माने प्रोहिबिट करिया पई ए जोडा माने अहिंसा रो प्रचलन करा जैतले कि
Yes, I have already elaborated it. Perhaps you missed it. I have already elaborated that why Buddhism and Jainism, both of them, traced traced upon non-violence, put emphasis upon non-violence. I told you that because of the inclusion of these sacrifices, animal sacrifices, in the ritual, in the religious rituals by the Brahmanas, patrons were the Kshatriyas. Therefore, perhaps in order to make a stop of this system, bali pratha jahaku ame kohuche, bali means ame taku ame English re koi dauche sacrifice. Actually bali means the proper meaning of bali is to give away, or to give away willingly something to others. ଅନ୍ୟକୁ କିଛି ନିଜ ଇଚ୍ଛା ଅନୁଯାୟୀ ସହମତି ଅନୁଯାୟୀ ଖୁସିରେ ଦେଇଦେବାକୁ କହନ୍ତି ବଳି। ଯେମିତି ଯିଏ ଆତ୍ମବଳି ଦେଲେ, ଜୀବନ ବଳି ଦେଲେ, ବଳି ଦେବା ନିଜକୁ ହତ୍ୟା କରିଦେଲେ? नो। ସୋ ତାକୁ କଣ କଲେ ଯେ ବଳି ନାଁରେ ପଶୁମାନଙ୍କୁ ବି ହତ୍ୟା କରିବାକୁ ଲାଗିଲେ। It was during the later part of the later Vedic age, and that was the cause some sort of negative attitude, negative ethos developed in the society, spread in the society. In order to make a stop on this negative attitude which was involved with this bali pratha or this sacrifice, system of sacrifice, this non-violence was put important. Non-violence means, you see, another thing, another aspect of non-violence, I must clarify. Mu au gote jinso non-violence or clarify kar diye. Buddhism did not give such a clarity to non-violence. Buddhism only preached non-violence, ahimsa. But Jainism preached non-violence in a different way. Jainism put ahimsa in a different way. Jainism put ahimsa at the topmost teaching, a topmost principle to be followed. And according to Jainism, ahimsa must be followed in different way, not by physical ahimsa. It must be followed in kayo mano vakya. Kayo mano vakya means physically, mentally, and verbally. Verbally means you should not hurt anybody by speaking ill. It means if you are rebuking, scolding somebody, so you are also doing some sort of violence. You are creating some sort of violent effect in his mind. तम जदि काउ गाली दउछ ता मनरे भी माने गोटे प्रकार हिंसा जात होउची, तम मनरे हिंसा अछि बोली गाली दउछ, सो सेमिति मनरे मध्य का प्रति तमे वायलेंट चिंताधारा रखिबोनी, नेगेटिव चिंताधारा रखिबोनी, एवं फिजिकली मध्य का हार्म करिबोनी. सो इट इज कॉल्ड कायो मन वाक्य. Because Jainism and Buddhism, they both of them realized that in order to make a harmonious society, in order to establish a harmonious society, there must be some sort of positive attitude, and ahimsa would create a negative attitude. And in order to stop that negative attitude among the men, among the human beings, among the people in the society, ahimsa was stressed upon. Is it clear, Rakesh?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Another question is, hello?
Yes,
Sir, another thing is Ajivika sect. Ajivika sect. What are these and what about it?
What is about this Ajivikas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ajivikas was another sect like Jaina, like Buddhism. Ajivikas were also another sect that had established themselves during this time. Ajivikas had also established their domain in North India, but it became popular for some times in Magadha, in Bascha, in Abanti, in a little pockets of North India. It was another sect like Jainism and Buddhism. I'm forgetting the name of this founder of the Ajivikas. I'm forgetting the name. I can tell you, but it was a very short-lived sect. It also put emphasis upon that ahimsa, then brotherhood, universal brotherhood, harmonious society, like Buddhism and Jainism, but it could not be popular. 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 It could not be popu
Okay, sir. It is just like a sect like Buddhism and Jainism, and
Jainism.
it is not reputed at that time.
Not, no, it was reputed in certain pockets of North India, not whole of India. As Jainism and Buddhism became popular, it could not be popular because of the lack of preaching or lack of effort in the part of the founder to preach it universally. Perhaps that's why.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, question pacharibe. Kar doubt achi?
Unit 5 Iron Age Culture from exercises. Number 1, discuss the implication of iron metallurgy in the development of the urbanism and state culture structures. Please
I
read
have
aloud.
already, perhaps, Vidyut Lata, you are asking this question. Perhaps you missed my my elaboration for some time. Remember, while I was discussing about later Vedic age, while I was discussing about this cosmopolitan nature of the later Vedic age, I have given a brief reference to this implication and application of iron technology in the in respect of development of economy, and which led to the urbanism, which led to the urbanization. But I shall again enumerate, as you have not properly grasped it. First of all, I must tell you, Aryans, they knew the use of iron. Number one, Aryans, they knew the use of iron. Okay. Okay. Number two, during 1000 BC, while the three later Vedas were in the process of composition, Aryan community began migration from West India to East India. They were living in Northwest India, the territory which was called Punjab or Sapta Sindhu, and Aryans were calling this territory as Brahmavarta, the land of God. Gradually, because of the increase in population, Aryan stock began to migrate from this Brahmavarta to a land which is called Aryavarta, which was called Aryavarta by these Aryans, Aryan migrants. And this land, this Aryavarta, was lying between Ganga Jamuna. This is called Ganga Jamuna Doab, ଦୁଇ ନଦୀର ଦି ପାଖ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ, ଯୋଉଟା କି ବହୁତ rich ଥିଲା, fertile ଥିଲା, because through the ages, the two rivers, they had deposited rich alluvial soil on the both banks of their respective, both on both of their banks, on the both side of their banks. ଦି ପାଖ ନଦୀର ଦି ପାଖରେ, ଦିଟିଯାକ ନଦୀର ଦି ପାଖରେ rich alluvial soil deposit ଥିଲା, and there was deep and dense forest. Aryans, as they knew the use of iron, with the iron implement, they could be successful in clearing this forest, number one. And this forest clearing helped them to grow different types of crops, or to be indulged in agricultural activities, hectic agricultural activities. कृषि कार्य भल रहला, कहीं alluvial soil थिला, rich and fertile soil थिला, से territory थिला completely plain, आमे ताको great plain बोली कहूचे, गंगा वैली को कहते आमे great plain. It was a plain land without any hill tracts, and it was not rocky, filled with rich alluvial soil, urbara murtika. All this helped for a rich agriculture. And you know, rich agriculture means what? Rich agriculture means surplus production. Surplus production means the amount of production which is more than what you need. जो जेते तमर आवश्यकता ताठू अधिक प्रोडक्शन करछ, जदि तमर जेतिके आवश्यकता ताठू अधिक प्रोडक्शन करिवो, तम सेही अधिक प्रोडक्शन को कोन करिवो? What will do with this surplus production? You will definitely sell them out for your different needs. Yes or no? You will definitely sell them this surplus production for your needs, for your other needs. exactly that happened. Because of the surplus production gave way to large-scale trade and commerce. And large-scale trade and commerce combined with iron technology, and there was a established political power in Ganga Valley. जो राजन्य जो ऋग्वेदिक कल्चर जो राजा थिले राजन्य बोली कहउतला राजन्य क्लास, it will become a क्षत्रिय क्लास और क्षत्रिय कास्ट. क्षत्रिय become राजा. जो हमरो डॉक्टर साहू कहउतले आईआरडी कहउतले किछि आगुरु समय आगुरु क्षत्रिय माने राजा सैन्य एमान सब राजन्य वर्ग हेले. So they established their administration. There was a consolidated and farm administration to channelize the surplus, to distribution the surplus, and to keep the accounts. All these things led to a state. That state is called state of urbanism, state of urbanization, a process of urban development. Urbanization means a process of development, because trade and commerce definitely gave birth to market economy, and market economy gave birth to some sort of intermediaries. Intermediaries means traders, and all these things combinedly, coin money economy, market economy, then your an established political power, then keeping accounts by using some letters or writing methods. All these things gave way to a process, and that process is nothing but urbanization. Okay. Where is that question जे मतलब पचाले कहाँ थी कुआड़ पढ़े गए नहीं विद्युत लता.
Yes, sir.
Could you follow me, sir? Deployment of iron technology, fertile land, surplus production, market economy, money economy, then trade and commerce, and the establishment of a farm royal power or administrative agency, then keeping the records by using some writing method. All these things, these are the features of urban process. If all these things happen, हमर जन अछंती थिले historian P. Gordon Child, he had given 10 precepts of urbanization. ए 10टी कारण से देचन 10टी क्राइटेरिया देचंदी. ए 10टी क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल जदि होउची ताले urbanization आरंभ हे जाय. गोटे गांटा गोटे शहर रे परिणत हे जो जोंटी ट्रेड हबो निश्चित भाबरे अलगा लोक आसी बसिबे ना सेठी अलगा लोक आसी रहिबे ट्रेड करिया पई. एवं सरप्लस प्रोडक्शन कहा पई हुए जे सरप्लस प्रोडक्शन करे से अन्य किछि लोक जो माने प्रोडक्शन से तो आदु अटैच नहंती. प्रोडक्शन सहित सेमानकर कोनोसी लिंक नांत. आमे तां कहबे अनप्रोडक्टिव एलिमेंट्स ऑफ द सोसाइटी. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई एम एन अनप्रोडक्टिव एलिमेंट. आई डोंट प्रोड्यूस फूड ग्रेन. I am unproductive. I don't go to the farm. I don't go to the agricultural field to produce food grain to eat. I purchase it from the market. Where from I will purchase? From the market. If market will not be flooded with food grain, from where I shall purchase? So, in order to purchase food grain, market should be flooded with food grain, and market will be flooded with food grain when there will be surplus production in the countryside. And in this way, there began trade and commerce, and trade and commerce gave birth to a market economy, and that market economy was converted into an urban center. Urban.
Sir, hello.
Yes.
Sir, can you tell us these 10 points and the name of this historian? Then we'll note down.
V. Golden Child. V. Golden Child. Name of the historian is V. Golden Child. He is not only a historian, he is also equally at the same time a sociologist, a great researcher. He had given 10 precepts or criteria. Number 1, size.
Yes, sir.
Size. Number 1 is size. An urban center is bigger than a village, a rural center, rural area, rural or a village. गोटे टाउन टे निश्चित भाव गाँ ठारू बड़. Number 2, In a village, we can get homogeneous population. गाँव आमे जदि गोटे गाँ को जीवा आमे होमोजेनस पॉपुलेशन देखिबा गोटे प्रकार काम करथुवा लोक देखिबा गोटे गाँ रे खाली कृषक थिबे गोटे गाँ रे खाली बुणाकार थिबे गोटे गाँ रे खाली कृषक थिबे जणे कि दि जण गोटे पटरस्टे थिबो बा गोटे ब्लैक स्मिथ रे थिबो कंबारटे थिबो किंतु गोटे गाँ रे प्राय कृषक थिबे किबा गोटे गाँ रे तंती थिबे बा गोटे गाँ रे मानिया बंध गाँ को जीवा ता कोन देखिबा समस्त उइवर गोष्ठी अछंती किंतु आमे जदि पळे आसिया भुवनेश्वर को आमे हेटेरोडेक्स पॉपुलेशन देखिबा हेटेरोडेक्स डूइंग डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ऑक्युपेशन ओके
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
then system of writing presence of the system of writing urban center होबा पई निश्चित भाबरे गोटे सिस्टम ऑफ राइटिंग होबा नियादी थिबो काहे कि in order to keep the account of production and distribution of surplus production. Then a power, a central power, administrative machinery, which you may call state machinery or state power or royal power or political power, whatever it may be. There must be an administrative machinery functioning for smooth governance as well as distribution and channelization of the surplus. Then trading community. Presence of a trading community. Jaga me intermediary bhi koi periwa. This community is helpful for channelizing the surplus production from the countryside to the town or to the urban center where non-producing class is staying. Then monumental buildings. Monumental building here signifies big buildings or fort-like things. In any urban area, you will find big buildings, skyscrapers, fort, durga, ityadi. Because it may be royal center, power center, or market building. In Bhubaneswar, we will find Nautala, where directorate is functioning. And there is nearby it is secretariat, where secretariat is functioning. These are all monumental buildings. Besides, there are so many buildings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then.
Okay.
Okay. Proceed, sir.
Then there must be some sort of faith, a religion, religious precept, religious activities. Good religious activities be urban center. केतोड़ा urban center केवल religious activity ପାଇଁ ମଧ୍ୟ urban center ରେ convert ହେଇ ଯାଇ ପାରନ୍ତି. For example, Kashi, Vishwanath. Kashi, Varanasi is an urban center not because of its trade and commerce, because of the Vishwanath. Similarly, Puri, Jagannath. It is not because Puri is district headquarter town. Even if district headquarter town of Puri is shifted to Khordha, still then Puri will not lose its importance as an urban center because of Jagannath. So religious activities also is one of the precepts for a place to be qualified as an urban center. How many have you noted?
7, sir.
7 hala?
7, sir.
The most important thing I have forgotten. Technological innovation. A technological innovation is always at the root of everything. If there will be no technological innovation, remember there will be no surplus production. It is technological innovation which gave way to surplus production because it is the iron technology when it was employed and deployed in Ganga Valley, then there was surplus production, which in turn gave a way to market economy or trade and commerce. So technological innovation is one of the major points. It should be there in the second or third point. Okay. Technological innovation.
Okay, sir. Next.
Artistic excellence. Artistic excellence is another point. There will be artistic excellence which will be expressed through different activities of the artisan and craftsman. And they will be patronized by this non-producing class, by traders, by royalty, by intellectuals. Artistic excellence, or we can say artistic expression. Then specialized craftsmanship, specialization, craft specialization. Technological innovation always lead to craft specialization. Remember one thing, because when technological innovation will be employed and implemented, there must be some sort of specialized craftsmen who will be employed in this technological innovation. For example, iron technology, there must be people like iron smith, कुंभार जाको कहते कुंभार 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 जाति जोटा हमर लुहा रे विभिन्न प्रकार जिंस तयारी करंती. They are specialized craftsmen in iron. They will manufacture or they will make the implements for agriculture. Jaako ame कहबा लंगल बा फाळ बा plowshare, all these things they will make. So that will raise a class. That class will be craftsmen's class, and there will be specialized craftsmen's class. So technological innovation will lead to craft specialization. Dostala?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any question? Anybody question? I'm just asking question as if I'm taking order in a restaurant. Okay. If you don't have any question anymore, then we'll meet tomorrow again at 6 o'clock in the evening. Good night till then, all of you. Good night.
Very good night, sir. Very good night.
Okay, Dr. Saw, good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Very good night, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.